going to do the last two parts of the border sample. We'll be doing the black and white strip and the book page with the oil pastel. The next one we're going to look at is we're actually going to do the black and white one first. You'll be using a white strip of paper, so one of those border strips that you have, and just using a Sharpie, doing some sort of pattern on there. For this one, we're not going to do anything too crazy because I don't want it to take you too long. But I have a couple of different examples of just doing stripes. So I did this one. I went along it with my regular Sharpie. You could also use a chisel tip to do those thicker stripes. And then I used the skinnier one to do the little stripes in between. And whatever you want to do for your pattern there, something like that. Just remember to go slow. Don't go too fast with Sharpies. You want to paint with the markers. That'll help get rid of any lines. Also, if it's not 100% covered, if you go a little bit slower, the markers tend to work better that way. Then I just went back through and added the extra lines. Same thing. Don't go too fast. So if you want to do this, you can. If you have a design you really want to do, go ahead and do that as well. That's okay. You could do a series of circles. You could do something that we did with the doodles if you'd like. And then I'm going to cut this one as well because we talked about the border strips. You want to have about the finger width or so. And just like I said before, this one could be a border in your visual journal. You could do a top and bottom this way. This will save you some time too, so you don't have to do it twice. You just do it once and then cut it. I guess I'm doing a wave with this one again. You can cut these straight across too if you want. That's fine. Not a big deal. Okay. And these will be pretty close to fitting all the way. I'm going to move that one over so it fits like that. If you remember yesterday, I showed you with the glue stick. Make sure you have a magazine sheet down. Put whatever you're gluing face down and go with the glue stick right over it, so that way you have glue on everything. And then we'll just line that up with the page. Push that down, okay? And I'm gonna fold that over so that it's out of my way, so I don't get glue on me. Then I'll show you the book page. So with that one, we're obviously using a book page. We are also going to be using the water-soluble oil pastels. So these act a little bit different than the oil-based oil pastels that you've used in the past. What we're going to be doing is taking a book page. You'll have one like this. And you're going to go ahead and cut it ahead of time. I'm going to do a zigzag just for variety. You can cut this straight across if you want to. And if you want, you could share it with a friend so they can have the other side and you'll have one side. I have one already started over here. So what I'm doing is picking a color of oil pastel, and then you're just going to go along the edge. I'm going to show you an example here. So just like that. I like it. It kind of gives it a burnt look, or also a little more dimension closer and further away, so that's kind of neat too. So I just used the black oil pastel. You could use any color you want. I just like the black. And I'm going right along the edge that I cut. A pretty healthy, solid line there. Then I'm going to use a Q-tip, and I'm just going to buff that color out so it fades for me. So kind of do a buffing motion more than a back and forth. That way it's a little softer, it won't look like lines that way. And you would do this all the way up and down the side. So I've already done this other side, and this will get cut off because I know I don't need that. And you can take that out pretty far if you would like. So then when I get ready to glue it down, I'm just going to look right here to see what I need. Again, I'm just going to mark that with my finger, so it's about in that area. So I'm going to cut that. That looks to be about right. If you have some sticking out, you can always trim that off later after the glue dries. And I'm going to go to about there. So then I'm going to cut this part off too. if you need to draw a line or anything like that because you're not very confident in your cutting skills, you could flip it over and use a ruler and draw a line so it doesn't show. It's going to go right here, so I'm going to flip it over and glue that on as well. Then when I'm all done, I am going to take either a Uniball pen or the Sharpie, skinny Sharpie, and do a line on the inside to draw, like pull all this design together. And that's always a good method to use when you're using your visual journals too. So I have that. And then I would just take my pen and outline it. If you're using Sharpie, put a magazine sheet under it so it doesn't bleed through. But don't do this too fast. I tend to go quickly and then I mess up. So you're just going to outline that whole thing so it'll look like this when you're all done. That'll pull it all together. When you're done with this, what you're going to do if you have time is go to the first page with your name on it. You'll go back to this page and then do some type of border. So this one is the one that I did a while ago. I used paint sheets because I had them out in front of me. You can use the magazine sheets or any of these other techniques that we've done. If you need any other supplies, just let me know.